call the meeting to order. If you would, please rise. I'm going to ask Commissioner Griner to lead us in the invocation and the pledge.
Dear Lord, just thank you for your guidance and your patience and your understanding, Lord. Just give us your wisdom tonight. Just help us make the right decisions for the county, and just be with us each and every day as we walk, and help us to influence others for you, Lord, and just be with our military and the ones overseas and the ones here in the country, and just watch over and protect them. And Lord, just thank you for everything that you do for us each and every day. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioners, inside your packet, you'll find your minutes from the work session of June the 25th and your minutes from your regular session meeting of June the 26th. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion for approval.
We have a motion to approve the minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Our first agenda item 5A is the Keep Lounge Valdosta Beautiful appointment. We have two appointments that needs to be made tonight, Mr. Pritchard.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, as we stated yesterday, there are two terms that are up for consideration. One is the position currently held by Ms. Vivian Miller Cody, which ended June 30th, and she has requested consideration for an additional 3-year appointment. And the other position is that of Mr. Adam Floyd, who has asked not to be considered for reappointment. You have two individuals who have expressed interest in being considered, Regina Kimbrough and Travis Morgan. Ms. Kimbrough was present yesterday at your work session.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, I'll open it up for nominations. We'll do the reappointment of Ms. Vivian Miller Cody first. For that seat, she has to be reappointed, but if we get a nomination otherwise, or we can nominate Ms. Vivian Cody to be reappointed.
I nominate Vivian Cody to be reappointed.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll close the nominations, and Ms. Vivian Miller Cody will be reappointed by acclamation. The second seat, the seat that is up, is the seat that Adam Floyd no longer wants to be appointed to, and so you see your two applicants that you have there now. I will entertain a motion for a nomination of either one of those two and open it up to others if you have someone else in mind.
Motion to appoint Regina Kimbrough to the vacant seat.
Okay, we have nomination of Miss Regina Kimbrough. Do we have any other nominations? Okay, hearing none, then Miss Regina Kimbrough will be appointed as in the second position, and Miss Regina Kimbrough will be appointed by acclamation. We now move to our public hearing items. It's public hearing 6A. This is REZ 2018-13. It's the Sims case. It's located at 4893 Phillips Road and 4877 Beaver Lane. The request is EA to R1. It has well and septic, and it involves 4.65 acres. Ms. Braswell?
Yes, sir, Chairman, Commissioners. This case represents a change in zoning to single-family residential R1. The general motivation is to reconfigure 3 parcels into 2. Concerning the future development map, subject property lies within the rural service area, and R1 is a permissible zoning within that character area. You have staff's and Planning Commission recommendation in front of you, and we believe this request is ready for your consideration.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions for Ms. Braswell? Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition to this request? Anyone that would like to speak in opposition? Is there anyone that would like to speak in favor of this request? Anyone that would like to speak in favor of this request? Hearing none, we'll close the public participation portion of the meeting and turn it back over to the commissioners for your consideration.
Motion to approve the rezoning request.
Can we have a motion to approve the rezoning request? Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 6B is REZ 2018-14, Coventry Villas. It's located at Mulligan Road. It's RA and R1 to a PD. It has county water and sewer and involves 8.57 acres. Ms. Braswell?
Yes, sir. This is a request for plan development for up to 35 single-family dwellings. From the original submittal of the site plan, the applicant has made several changes to accommodate the needs of the residents adjacent to the property, as well as the needs for staff. The future development map depicts that the subject property is within an urban service area and is depicted as a suburban area character area, which plan development is a permissible zoning. You do have staff's recommendation. I will say that the recommendation came forth with one condition, but the site plan was amended to address that particular condition, so that condition is no longer valid. We believe this request is ready for your consideration.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Braswell? Okay, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition to this request? Anyone that would like to speak in opposition? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in favor of this request? Please come forward and state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Matt Phelps, the engineer for the project. My address is 4560 Val North Drive. I'm here representing the developer and the property owners. Like Ms. Carmela said, we have gone through several iterations of the site plan to address everyone's requests, wants, needs, desires. I really don't have anything else to add other than I'm here to answer any questions you may have, and also the property owner is in the audience if you have any questions for them, but they do ask for your approval.
Any questions for Mr. Phelps? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Phelps.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak in favor of this request? Okay, hearing none, we'll close the public participation portion of the meeting and we'll turn it back over to the commissioners for your consideration.
I move that we approve the rezoning request.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the rezoning request. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 7A is the ACCG Irma Property and Liability Renewal. Mr. Beals?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, as stated, this is the ACCG IRMA Liability Program Renewal, IRMA standing for Interlocal Risk Management Agency. This is a renewal for our property, automobile, machinery, as well as general liability for our public officials and law enforcement. This past year and going into this renewal, we did receive safety credit of $10,000 as well as dividend credits of $92,000, coming to a total of $102,000 worth of program credits. We are asking that we renew our deductible levels the same as they were last year, $2,500 per occurrence on all lines except for $5,000 per occurrence for law enforcement liability and public officials liability.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Beals? Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion. Thank you, Mr. Beals.
I move that we approve the IRMA liability program renewal.
Do we have a motion to approve the renewal? Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 7B is the evidence-based associate service agreement. Mr. Ty?
Yes, sir. I believe yesterday you discussed this item. This is, we did receive funding through the CJCC for continued, providing continued services through the juvenile court for functional family therapy. This is just the agreement that service agreement we execute every year with evidence-based associates to serve as our managing partner for the grant programs, and I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have about the agreement.
Any questions for Mr. Ty? Thank you, Mr. Ty. Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion.
I motion that we agree, sign the agreement and authorize the chairman to sign it. We approve it and authorize the chairman to sign it.
Okay, we have a motion to authorize the chairman to sign the agreement for the service. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 7C is the Pine Grove Lift Station Pump. Mr. Stoughton?
Yes, sir. The Pine Grove Lift Station is a duplex station that serves the Bemis and North Lowndes area. Currently, it's running on one pump. The pump out of service is a 30 horsepower. We have received a quote from Xylem to repair this pump for $12,671.60. Additionally, we got a quote for a replacement, which was $25,438. Staff recommends the pump be repaired for $12,671.60.
Thank you, Mr. Stoughton. Any questions for Mr. Stoughton? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve pump repair for $12,671.60.
We have a motion to approve the pump repair for $12,671.60. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion carries. Agenda item 7D is the ordinance adopting the current Board of Health rules. Mr. Pritchard.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Mr. Kyle Coppage came before you yesterday and made the request for your adoption of the rules and regulations submitted by the Board of Health, and we would ask for your consideration. As I stated yesterday, the entire document is here in the room, and as the attorney pointed out yesterday, I believe some of you had an opportunity to look at that. So it's the entire document, but this is for the amendments that they have recommended.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Pritchard? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to table this decision. I have some questions about Amendment H in the document, and I'd like to spend a few minutes with Mr. Coppage and go over
Okay.
that if possible.
Okay, then we have a motion to table. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor of tabling signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. We'll table this to the next meeting.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Agenda item 8, County Manager's Report. Mr. Pritchard.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to request a brief executive session for the purpose of attorney-client communication.
Okay. Do I have a motion then to go into executive session?
I move that we go into executive session.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor signify by aye. We'll move into executive session.